Feared Reality, Mark and Stevie, we're back with you. We got a really good story for you tonight. It will be fairly short, but we do have a good one for you. We have a video, and we also have some pictures. And Stevie's going to find out what it is when we bring it up. But before we do, I have a personal story of my own that actually happened tonight. So I'm going to tell you that real quick, and it is really quick. We ask you guys to send us stories at that email, right? So, of course, we're going to share our own if we have any. So, as you probably all know, there's a comet in the sky that's viewable right now until about the 21st. And each night it'll be a little higher up above the horizon. So you get to see it a little longer if it's visible. Now, I want to be clear for anyone out there who may have misunderstandings. The comet is not the new moon that came into our orbit.
Shut up.
And I want to point that out because a lot of people don't know, because the new moon thing, they started talking about it and then they just stopped and it was, there's going to be a comet. So it's completely confusing. So the new moon is just some tiny small rock, and someone correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's probably about the size of a house or something, if I recall what I read correctly. It's small. It's something you'll never be able to see, but it's coming into our orbit for about 2 months, and for some reason they're calling it a new moon. And as usual, when these articles come out, there's no detail in them explaining why. Right. So right now everyone's going to think UFOs. However, this comet is super far away. It's already come around the sun, which is why it's viewable now. Just to be clear, so you all know the sizes. I was reading this the other day. The head of the comet, they're estimating at approximately 135,000 miles wide, which is fucking crazy to me. But so I was talking to my daughter about that tonight, right? And where we live on the map and zoom out, and so she gets a somewhat of a conceptualization of how large the U.S. is. So I zoom out so you can see the whole U.S.
That was what I was literally just doing in my head.
Yeah. So I did the math. I mean, it's simple. And, I looked at the distance from the West Coast, California, to the East Coast. Basically, what I looked up was how wide is the United States? I forgot what it was. I want to say 2,800 miles. But did the math. Do you know how many United States would fit in that comet at its widest point?
Probably somewhere around 80,000.
Oh no! What, girlfriend? Basic math. I already even gave you the numbers. Comet,
I'm literally just saying numbers for fucks.
Comet, 135,000 wide.
Yes.
Earth, the United States, 2,800, 2,800. So you could fit basically 48 United States country in this comet.
Right. I'm just saying numbers because it's
as amazing as that sounds, it's really not. You know why? Because the comet has a tail. Well, we all know that's made up of the dust, the particles,
48
gases, maybe
USA
whatever.
is wide is still pretty impressive.
The tail of the comet, they're estimating at approximately 18 million miles long. 18 million miles. You could be born on a particle of crap that came off that's at the farthest point from the comet at 18 million miles. You could be born right now and not be able to see that comet. You'll never be able to because it's moving with you at the same speed, and it's 18 million freaking miles away.
I just want to know the formula of math that they have to figure that shit out.
Who knows?
That is impressive.
Well, it shouldn't be too hard because you can see it with the naked eye, and they know how far it is. So that's all you need. Then you can judge those things.
I'm not trying to think of it. I'm trying to just be presented it. Thank you.
I don't want to think.
My job is not to do math. My job is to sell
do other things.
Yes.
Well, my story has to do with this comet. So I have some pretty good photography equipment, cameras, lenses.
Yes,
the lens I was using was a 150 to 600 millimeter lens. anybody that knows anything about it, 600 millimeters is fucking crazy. It's a very high zoom telephoto, lens. So I got pictures last night. Tonight it's a little higher up. I go out there, set up, and wait till it's actually visible after sunset, and boom, there it is. So I start taking, some pictures of it.
Yeah.
So at one point, because I'm on a tripod, right, and you just leave it there. Obviously, that comet's up here, and it's slowly going boo, 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 boo. So I got to adjust the camera,
Right.
So I have a few minutes, and I saw something. I saw something more than once, and I saw something more than twice, and it's interesting. First, let me say, the angle I had my camera aimed at, so from the horizon up, the angle I was at, I would estimate about 40 degrees from the horizon, 40 degrees up.
Okay.
And 90 degrees is going to be straight up,
Yes, that's why I am looking up, because I am mentally doing math.
Mentally.
Mentally. Leave me alone. Fuck.
I'm looking about 40 degrees up. That's what my camera's aimed at on the tripod, right at the comet where it is for me. And I'd already taken pictures. Now, I have, I have the performance mode set for low light. I have long exposure noise reduction, all this stuff. So when I'm looking, and I have it on automatic, right? So I don't have to fuck with the focus or any of that shit. Just have it on automatic. Just screw with the exposure. And I have to have the exposure up to a certain spot, unfortunately, so that it's actually picks it up. It's weird. Not going to explain it now, but perfect.
Okay.
It's working. And I'm looking, keep in mind, I'm zoomed all the way into the 600 millimeters, right? We're talking a lens, fucking stupid. It's zoomed all the way in on this thing. So my point in saying that is my field of view now, looking through the camera, is much narrower, right? Because I'm zoomed in on the object. So I'm not looking at a large chunk. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I'm looking at a huge chunk of sky, but
in the
from when it's zoomed out,
yeah,
from when it's zoomed out, the comet's right. If I put the comet right in the middle, within a minute and a half, it's already. I got to adjust the camera again.
Right.
Okay, so the percentage of sky I'm looking at is very low. Okay, and that's very important. I'm looking at the LCD screen because I'm moving it, right? So I'm adjusting it back to the comet being in a good view for me. And I tighten it up, stop, boom, there's the comet. And what do I see on the camera?
What do you see?
I see a light, probably a little below the comet. I'm not saying it's anywhere near the comet, but just from my point of view, right? A little below it. I see a light just go. And I was like, that's weird. I shit you not, about 30 seconds later, I saw a light go the other way.
Okay.
I'm zoomed in to a very narrow field of view here.
Right.
I'm not viewing much of the sky. The comet's like almost dead center, and I don't have much black around the comet because I'm zoomed in so much.
Right.
That was interesting. At that point, I get out Flight Radar, the Flight Radar 24 app. You guys all probably know. Any plane that's in the sky that has a transponder turned on, they are going to pop up on there. Typically, the only ones that aren't going to pop up are going to be military. Sometimes. So, it must have been maybe a minute to 2 minutes later. Back across the sky. That time, I checked Flight Radar, and I got a much better view. And when you're on Flight Radar, it shows your position. And as you turn your phone or your body, the arrow moves, right? So you know what way on there you're facing.
Yeah.
And I look in that exact direction camera's going. There's no planes. The only planes were coming or going, whatever, I think, going from one of a few local airports, and they come out over where we're at, over our house. Once they turn inland again, you can see those planes very clear, right? The lights. So 3 times, opposite directions, this thing came by.
Interesting.
Now, I was thinking about it, I'm like, it's definitely not an airplane.
Mm-mm.
I know that is a fact. Why? Because number one, it wouldn't be a solid light. If it was the solid light, that'd mean they're landing. And from the direction I'm looking, which is out over the ocean, that is not the landing pattern for this airport. Um, but that third one I saw, there was nothing other than very close to me right at the coast, which I can see right now.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, farther out, there's nothing. There was zero. So the only thing I can think of, and this is one of the important things about the story, is let's not jump to conclusions. The only thing I can think of is it's aliens from Zeta Testiculi. No, satellites.
Yeah.
Satellites.
No, that makes complete sense.
It does.
Yeah.
But
there's so many out there.
Are there? Was it? Yeah, one. You know,
Mm-hmm.
in a very narrow field of view of the sky from the position, being zoomed in on my camera.
True.
That I thought was interesting. Given that you couldn't really see the comet's bright, so you're seeing that lower in the horizon when you're barely starting to see stars up there. Man, I don't know, man. I don't know what it was. I have to go with satellites, but it's just something about it that tells me there's no way it's satellite. I'd totally believe it if it was one. Oh, and one of them, I think I got it in the picture. I'm going to have to go on tomorrow and take a look, but wouldn't matter if it's there. It's going to show up as a streak or just a ball light.
That means still, that'd be cool to have captured it. Yeah.
It is most likely satellites. However, I'm not 100% on that because, again, I was looking at a very narrow field of the sky, and I think for 3 to go by in less than 3 minutes, and 2 of them very well. I mean, that's fine because they're maybe a little bit different altitude, different positions. It's pretty far, but there's just something about the frequency and the just the small portion of sky I was looking at.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I've seen satellites. I've seen them here, but especially when I used to go camping out in the Sierra Nevada mountains.
Right.
I go down to the beach at the lake and lay down, and you see everything, and you can clearly see the satellites. Like there's no mistaking it because it's just very steady, straight line, just keeps going. But I've never seen that many, that quick, that close together. Now, again, that was also back, late 80s, right?
Mm-hmm. Technology has advanced.
There's more satellites now.
A lot more.
And nobody say Starlink,
junk.
guys. Don't say Elon Musk space junk because we all know those are trains of lights. So please.
No, I'm just saying in general space junk. There are decades of fucking NASA space junk, fucking the Russian cosmonauts space junk, Chinese space junk, fuck. Everyone talks about the Great Pacific Trash island, but let's talk about the fact that there is just a whole shit ton of just abandoned rocket pieces up floating around.
That's fine because when it comes in here, which it will eventually do, it just burns up.
Yeah, but I mean that very well could have been what you saw as well. It's just literal space junk as well. Maybe reflecting. I don't know. Off what little light is left.
3 different ones, two go in one direction, one go in the other within 3 minutes of each other.
You never know.
Very narrow field of sky. That's what gets me.
Yeah.
But let's get into tonight's story,
all right, yeah.
This one's cool. I think you guys will like this. I don't know if you might have seen it or not. This is I took it from a Unilad article, February 2nd, 2024 is the article. Man paragliding over Great Pyramid of Giza captures aerial footage of what's written on top. Did you know?
Yep.
There's writing on top of the pyramid?
Yes, I did.
Bet most people don't.
Yep.
So we have a video and some pictures because I want to show you some things. But let's read through this real quick. This is a short one. A Brazilian man who had the rare opportunity to fly over the Great Pyramid of Giza has captured footage of the writing hidden at the top of it. Hidden. Do you really know it was hidden? I don't know. The closest most visitors get to flying over the pyramids is when their flight comes in to land in Egypt, but with the help of his paramotor, 35-year-old Yanis Terziz got a much closer look. Terziz had been granted permission to fly over the pyramids, meaning he wasn't breaking the law with his flight. Footage from Terziz's flight shows him skimming over the top of the pyramids, which are actually more flat than pointed at the top, and looking down over the Sphinx. Now, why is it flat? Well, because time's elapsed.
Not only that, but a lot of the limestone that was covering the Great Pyramids was actually stripped off of it in later, like, centuries, millennia, and used as statues elsewhere by other pharaohs. It was very common to strip and reuse. Like, sorry, I love Egypt.
Sorry. Let me share the screen right now. All right, so we're gonna play the video. It's short. It's about 2.5 minutes, and then we'll get into the pictures because I think you're gonna find the writing interesting. And oh yes, you can clearly see the writing, and I will show you. You guys stick around. Let me play this. There's no audio. We can talk. He's out there cruising around, having a good time. That'd be fun.
I just want to say that it is actually kind of sad, like, just how close civilization has gotten to the pyramids. Like, you still think that they're in the middle. Like, they always give the impression that they're out in the middle of still fucking nowhere. But in actuality, turn around and there's a city right there. Like, there's no escaping it. And it's like, oh, fuck.
Okay, keep your eyes out. Keep your eyes out. He's going over. Oh, that's the first pass. We gotta wait for the second pass here.
He has to come back around. You know what's funny?
Keep your eyes out. It's gonna be to the right.
I have climbed up and down these pyramids so many times in my Assassin's Creed games. It's not even funny.
So you did really no workout.
No, fuck no. And also, it's completely illegal to climb them.
Okay, here he goes. He's coming up on it. It's going to be on the right, middle, bottomish right. You'll be able to see what appears to be letters. You didn't know they were that flat at the top. And he even slows it down for us. Look at that.
It's so grainy on my end.
Well, yeah, because you're playing the video. But, there's the Sphinx down there.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. So let's get into this. So he's out there flying around. I already have the video in there. He's out there flying around. Let's jump up to the first one. Now, I've also cropped these. I've zoomed in quite a bit on some of these, and you're going to see what I mean. So to me, it clearly looks like there's some type of writing, whether they be letters, symbols, pictures, right?
Yeah.
Drawings. There's clearly carvings there, but I can't make anything out. And yeah, you could rotate it around and all that, but you still don't see too much here. But let's take another look. So this is zoomed in and I rotated it. Right here appears to be some type of drawing to me. Almost like if you look at it from this perspective, a flying saucer with landing legs. But my point on this slide was this. Right here we see things. We see letters. Almost looks like a S, an H, an O, an R, a T, short. Now, I don't know that that's what it is, but
I'm itching to fucking say something. Oh my god.
So what stopped you? Is it this piece of rock right here?
No, no, I was just letting you get the full thing out before I was like,
What's up?
It has only become illegal, like, not so recently, but like in the past couple of decades to actually climb it. People used to climb the fuck and like camp out and picnic on that fucking thing. So of course there's going to be, shit scribed into it that was never there. And also, also people, as they were, doing the inscriptions on the blocks, if like the blocks broke and they couldn't use
Mm-hmm.
it for whatever they were using it for, whether it be like an inside room or like what a hallway, they would have to obviously recycle that block. And what better way than to put it in the fucking outside? So of course there's going to be like half done, shit on some things. Also, at one point, I'm pretty sure there was some restoration work done on the pyramids, and I believe that they were actually numbered at that time as well, or somehow marked. So
yeah, well, that's not
I'm
this.
so sorry. I mean, like, it looks like graffiti from people from centuries
Maybe.
and
I don't know.
decades fucking
I don't
climbing
know
up
that
there.
I could just jump to that idea because there's weird little symbols here. Like there's things that to me almost clearly look like possibly some type of symbols. And I could be totally wrong, but there's a weird thing here that almost looks like a fish, but like a stick man you might find in cave drawings or whatever. But there's some things. It kind of looks like there could be some symbols here. But let's go to the next one. So here's another one. I mean, you clearly have. I mean, this almost looks like Evan, EVAN, right? You see what appears to clearly be probably letters.
ICCV
right?
121.
Yeah, there's stuff all around here. But the other thing, it would appear to me that it doesn't look like there's much rhyme or reason either. So let's take a look. Zoom in on this one. I mean, this one is a guy sitting in a car driving it. There's a steering wheel.
No.
You can clearly see something, carvings.
Yeah.
Scratches. So you got to wonder, is this from back then? Blah blah blah. Well, let's go to the next one. You can see kind of back here, almost looks like
Arabic
and
script.
I don't know what Egyptian. Yeah,
that looks like Arabic. Yep.
Yeah, it looks something like that.
Like that whole thing, like even on the other side of his equipment, that still looks Arabic to me as well. Can I read it? Absolutely not.
That's
but
the main
I am
part.
assuming that it is because it looks familiar in the form of fashion of how it's
like
written.
Some of how some of those languages are written to me. Now I couldn't even tell you from it, but
beautiful and confusing, like, and ancient, and it's just like, whoa.
Yeah. Let's check out the next one. This was just to show you these little things up here, whatever they were. They were kind of separated, but
they kind of look like
it's just to give you the view that there's clearly writing. Now, this one, the point of this one, this is by the SHORT. Seems a little clear to me. That's an S, and H, and O.
And then below I see a RFA.
RFA.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what that means, right? But the point is, there's clearly letters here. And then I look at stuff like this down here, and I can't think anything other than just normal, everyday people did this as well, just like they did this stuff, Now,
those poor pyramids have been abused for centuries.
There may be those out there that are, still going to look at that. No way. That's got to be blah, blah, blah back from them when they built them or whatever. Fine. And I would say this to you. There were stones, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but these pyramids were more pointy, were they not?
Yes.
Yes. It's missing blocks on top, right? It's broken down. You can clearly see they've broken down over time. They wouldn't have been carving shit on the inside of the stones that are just going to be hidden and hopefully there as long as they can be there. It was probably their idea. Unless, come on, I mean, you got clear languages here.
Again, it could have been a stone that was intended for one use, broke, and then they're like, oh, fuck it, just reuse it. Because there are like monoliths that they have found that were like abandoned halfway through the project because they've split in half. Like they found these things. So I mean,
well, I'm sure they weren't using the English alphabet back then.
True. Again, that was a recent human, but I mean, like there could be some like legitimate scribbles on there from again a attempted beginning, and then it was just a bad rock and it cracked.
Yeah. So it's a little obscure because nobody really expects there to be writing up there. And then you see this guy doing this and you're like, whoa, did I just see writing on there? Oh, that's cool. Wonder if they know about that. Of course they know about it. But it's interesting. And, it is what it
I love
is.
it. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I love Egypt. Assassin's Creed Origins was actually one of like my favorite games because it is like insanely historically accurate as to like how things looked back in that particular time.
Huh.
And like they're legit places like Siwa and Alexandria, and you get to see things that were before they were lost, and like a really beautiful reimagining of them. But yeah, no, it's just cool to see something that you're like, huh, I've like kind of technically climbed on that in the
Yeah.
most legal way possible. Which, shout out to Yes Theory, for trying to attempt to climb the pyramids. He had one of the gentlemen had permission actually from the government to climb the pyramid, and then when they got there, the official like at the pyramid was like, I don't care who said you could, I'm saying no. And that was the
Hmm.
end of that. It was a huge bummer because it's one of
Yeah.
his dreams to climb it. So shout out to them
I
for.
wouldn't mind. I mean, I wouldn't have
Mm,
minded doing that at one point,
mm.
even now. I
I
think
mean,
just the
yeah.
view from up there would be badass. And if I have a heart attack on the way up, hey, what better place?
I honestly think I don't. I think I'd probably have a heart attack on the way down because I'm fucking terrified of heights. And like climbing up, I'd be like, oh,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
fine. But coming
Going
down, I'd
up
be
is
like, oh
the
god.
easy part.
Oh yeah,
Coming
yeah, yeah.
down, the second you decide you're going to go down from something like that, I've done it. I'm like, I know going up, I'm like, okay. And then
Yeah.
once I get up there, now I'm looking down, going, okay, time to go. And I start. I'm like, how the fuck am I going to do this? Your
I
legs don't extend that way.
no,
Like,
I climb like a baby
oh,
backwards down the stairs. That's
well,
how I
yeah.
get
I
down
mean,
from
you don't
things.
have
Like,
much choice unless
mm-mm.
you got climbing gear.
No, I'm also like again a huge baby. So when it comes to heights, I fell out of a tree when I was a kid. So ever since then, I've been like super cautious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, with that said, I want to mention one other story. And I
Cool.
don't know if we'll do a show on this. That's why I wanted to mention it right now. It's not, I don't have anything written down. It's just something that's
Okay.
been out lately. Um, uh, there's been a lot of videos out there of allegedly the James Webb has spotted super, super far out some type of object that has been course correcting. Okay. And I'm mentioning this for a reason, not because I mentioned it a week or two ago. Um, you look at the videos; they're mostly all on TikTok. So, of course, first thing that should be coming to your mind is they're bullshit.
Fake news.
And none of those people. Um, how are they all gonna? How are these people gonna obtain that info? Because nothing's
Mm-hmm.
been put out yet, right? So I've let that go. Was like, well, that's interesting. I wonder if there's anything to it. I couldn't find anything. So today, I saw something a couple days ago about some guy, and I was like, huh. And then I saw another video today, an actual news channel,
Mm-hmm.
newscast, and they're talking about a guy. His name's Simon Holland. I think he's a professor or a scientist. I don't know, something. He said that they may be announcing something within the next month, that they have or believe they found life within our galaxy. Interesting.
Okay, so life
Now,
though can mean so many
no,
things.
yeah,
Like
but they're
when
also
people,
looking from telescope, that's massive,
yeah.
right? Are they
Yeah,
going to
no,
see
like that
that on a
telescope is
planet? No.
literally designed to look into our outer
Yeah,
galaxy
but
and
but
take
but you're not going
pictures
to see
of.
that stuff on the planet. You're reading data that's coming back and transcribing that into some form of data you can use. These
Mm,
aren't pictures like you're not zooming into a planet and you can see an ant pissing on the ground. Doesn't work like that, right?
yeah.
So they're reading the light that's coming back, the different
Hmm.
wavelengths and all that stuff to determine what's there.
Hmm.
That you can only get to a guess that there's life. They can, they'll see certain amounts of, they believe this or that in the atmosphere, things that, could be able to sustain life.
Hmm.
that doesn't mean there's life. And they might see, once they find one that has a percentage of carbon, then maybe they could say, we've hit, there's this percentage of carbon coming off. That is an indicator that there is life there. But you also got to remember that planet, wherever they're looking, is so many light years away.
Oh yeah.
That what you're seeing, it all could have died off by now.
Could have been wiped out. Absolutely.
So I think it's important to note that this guy's claim is that they found evidence of life, or not evidence, but they have found what they believe is life. So you need more than just looking at the light coming out of coming back from a planet for that, I would think.
Yeah.
I would think you would need some type of object in space that doesn't look like a rock and looks like some type of craft to get to that point. That's just me, just an opinion. I'm not trying to stir shit up, but
I don't believe it in the least bit. I also saw a fucking time traveler on TikTok the other day talking about how,
TikTok.
Yeah, like
there's nothing real in there.
No, there's not.
Yeah.
There's nothing fucking real in there.
So it's interesting. I've seen this guy, Simon, what did I say his name was? Simon Holland.
Yeah.
I've seen him before, and I've heard some stuff with him. I know he is who they say he is and all that. You got to look him up. I don't remember scientist or not. But if more actually comes out and it doesn't sound like 100% bullshit, we will have it on. But it just depends.
I just don't believe about the whole course correction thing. I really don't like.
So you believe they see something? It just didn't course correct?
Yes.
I mean, and obviously, course correcting is pretty unbelievable unless it's ours, which it's not. So if there is something actually course correcting,
but there's no like official. Yes, this was course correcting. It's all TikTok hearsay. And then Simon Holland, so don't.
Now this guy's not hearsay. What he's saying.
He's saying they're going to come out and say something. So
the point is, he was on a major news channel. He's out there. He's a credible, legit person as well. Now, who knows the type of work he's done? So he may have contacts inside that.
And I think they're hyping it up by saying, admit that we found life on another planet. Yeah, life, like what? A single cell organism, a multi-cell,
who knows,
organism that lives in the water, like a fucking what are those like water bears that we have? Tetragrades.
They can't find. We aren't at a point we can find that yet. That's my point.
Yeah, like,
you're looking from a telescope. You're not even looking at the planet. You're just seeing light from it. It's so far away.
Who's to say that they found
it's getting converted into something readable?
That could be something totally unrelated.
What?
Who's to say that? Like, are you saying Simon Holland said that they found life through this telescope?
Yes, that's exactly what I said. Like almost word for word.
I didn't.
The James Webb has, according to, so keep in mind.
So I heard the TikTok part. The James Webb, according to the TikTokers, have found something.
I don't know what Holland.
That's what I'm asking.
Whatever they used to see life, I would firmly assume the James Webb. But who knows?
Don't know. Like, they also just launched something today to go to one of Jupiter's moons. Like, they have multiple things out there, circling around planets, taking, samples and shit. So I don't know. Or maybe they found, samples of air that shows like enough carbon and hydrogen and, oxygen levels that could support, organisms.
The way
I just think they're over.
The only person's word I'm taking for this right now, at least somewhat taking for it, is this guy Simon Holland.
I just think they're hyping up how they're phrasing it.
I know he's legit and credible. I'm not taking anyone else's word. By the way he worded it, sounds to me, it gave me the impression they actually found something. Now, not that they can touch it, right? It's so far out there, but if they're looking at with James Webb, then who knows? Right. Maybe they are monitoring some craft. But I have another point with mentioning this. I was never going to mention it because it's all, well, I thought it was all bullshit until I saw the one today. Now I'm like 1%, maybe. So I was never going to touch this until I saw that. And so another point comes to mind. Have you not noticed an increase in things coming in from space in the last 5 years?
No.
You got the big boom comet over Vegas. You have a kid that doesn't seem to be acting, and his family saying there was something in our fucking backyard, blah, 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 blah. We know it came in. It was seen across numerous states, which of course they would be, but this thing was massive. Like the light from it was massive. The trail, the shit breaking off. And we have a new moon now, which isn't a goddamn moon. It's small, and it's
I feel
good.
like that's making something of nothing just to have a headline. That's interesting.
They're not saying this. I'm saying this. I find it interesting. From what I've noticed, it would appear there's been a big increase over the last 5 years or so of shit coming by or coming in from space. Now that there's easy explanations for that as well. You know, a field of shit that was flying through came off a comet. Who knows? You know, and 18 million mile long tail. Well, then that could all be from the same comet, right? But 10 million miles behind it. So, just interesting. But then again, you also have to keep in mind what I see as an uptick in this stuff happening. Legit, real, credible. We know things are happening. I forgot my point.
I think people are just a little bit more interested in it in the past 5 years. I feel like it's always been going on, but
what I was going to say is the reason I could be seeing that is because maybe they're just reporting more on some of those things now than they were in the past.
I feel like that is. I feel like because it's become genuinely something that is being talked about more. I mean, obviously here we are having a podcast about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's because it's out there more.
Thank you for proving my point.
Thanks. Well, yeah. So that's it. What do you? Well, you kind of already gave us your opinion on the pyramids. I think it's interesting to see it up there. Oh yeah. But I don't know. There's nothing ancient about that writing.
No, people have been destroying monuments for forever. I mean, just recently, some European tourist just got like in a shit ton of trouble for carving his name into Pompeii somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, and then a American or British tourist got in trouble for carving something into the Colosseum. Like, there's like people are like, oh, people just don't respect history these days. No one has ever fucking respected history. We used to ground up mummies and take them as medicine and use them as paint. Like, we've never respected history as human beings. So, there. So, yeah, that was literally carved by centuries of people going, hey, Susie
That's what it looks
Johnny.
like to me. I mean, I see,
just like Greek,
to me, I see at least
Egyptian.
two very clear languages. One is something Middle Eastern. The other looks like English.
One of them, honestly, there was a K and an O, and to be completely honest, the script that it looked very Greek to me. But
I did see something in there that I thought may have been Greek as well.
Yeah, but that was just me trying to look at a picture. So, but humans do not respect history, and they do not respect things. So,
hey, we're animals.
Yes, we are.
With that said, get your little animal ass over to your computer and like, share, and subscribe. Yes. And after you do that, send an email if you have a personal story of your own. You want us to share it on here. We will. Type story in the subject line. Again, the email up there, obscuredr1@gmail.com. We will keep you anonymous if you wish. It's up to you. Just be your YouTube ID. Let you want more. If you want to actually come on the show, let us know in the email. Super easy for you to do. We just send you a link. We'll do all the work. And you can tell your own story. We can talk about it. See what's going on. That said, you got anything to add, Stevie, or are we out of here?
We are out of here. But I do kind of got to say, Very recently, there was some interesting news about Petra, so get ready for an episode about that.
Alrighty. Well, that's Obscured Reality. We're out of here. Peace.